you are here on purpose with a purpose by design. And I have another one of these powerhouses with me tonight. I am so excited to welcome Linda to the platform with me. Hello, Linda. Welcome.
Hello, Pamela. Thank you so much for having me tonight. I am just so honored, and it feels such a blessing just to be here with you. So thank you.
The feeling is mutual. I'm so excited to see what is going to roll out as we go through this interview. I'm expecting really powerful gold nuggets and incredible things. Seriously, it's going to be awesome. So let's just get rolling. Why don't you tell us, who are you? Who are you? What are you doing here?
What? It's like Bob Proctor says, I'm more than just Linda, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, anyway, in saying that, I am Linda Ellison. I am a wife, and I've been married 26 years, but we've been together like 30 years. Yeah. Really young. And I am a mother of 3. I have a 25-year-old, she's about to be 21, and then I have a 14-year-old that'll turn 15 on March 13th, but she acts like she's going on 25. So I have 2 glam boos. One will be 4 on March 8th, and one just turned 1. 2 sons, 2 of them boys.
Oh, how much fun is that? Are they close? Do you get to see them?
Oh, 5 minutes away. I see them all the time.
Yes.
And they are such a joy. And so he actually will say mom. I don't tell his mom that, but he'll say mom. And it does warm my heart because he's just like my baby boy, so they'll always be my babies.
They are our babies too, aren't they? It's so true. We have one granddaughter, Linda, and she's over a lot. And I still have children that live at home, not as young as her, but we still have 11-year-old, 12-year-olds in the house. And so everybody's mom, yeah. Mom. And she'll be over. And after she's here for a little bit, it's like she's going, mom.
Yeah.
I'm calling
That's how he's doing.
You get it, right? That's what
happens. Totally get it. And he's all in my lap. It's just like having my baby boy all over again.
Yeah.
And both of them are. I mean, especially with the 1-year-old being so young, and for him to treat me in such a way, is just really, it's really great because we're just really close. We really, as a family, as a whole. And like my mom, and dad, they just celebrated their 58th wedding anniversary. Yeah. Yes.
How many years? 51?
58.
Oh my gosh.
58
wow.
This weekend. Yes. A true blessing. A true blessing. So we actually had taken the kids over for them, and they love it. It's just.
Oh my goodness. Wow. So you have a really rich heritage of family.
Yes.
Have that been walked out before you? 58 years? That's a long time. And you know that those 58 years were not just all tiptoeing through the tulips, right?
Oh, never.
Right. So you have had that mirrored before you or put out there in front of you, that you've seen what it takes to have marriage last 58
years. Yes, a true blessing. And in saying that and how close they are, it's helped me shape who I am. Also, though, it's that kind of thing, Pamela, where, as we had spoken about already, where we get, that career mom, because that's what I'm mirroring my mom. That's what she was, And so sometimes as ladies, that's what happened, is we become that career mom, and we have to realize that no, it is outside of there. But I was just so close to my children and that nurturing factor that that's pretty much it was hard for me to step away from, you know.
Yeah, I totally know.
Yes, yes. And so I actually have a nothing but healthcare background. You know, that's the industry I've been in for, is nursing, pharmacy, and now I actually specialize in mental health. And so that's pretty much the community that I'm working with now. And then I became the motivational speaker, then the author, you know, and so it's led to so much that had God would have put me where I thought I wanted to be, as in just having that passion for helping others, I would have never transpired into all that that I'm actually seeing now, you know. And so he has a plan for us, definitely, right?
Thank God, right? So much better than the plans we have. And even when we think our plans are like massive and awesome, he's like, you don't have no,
Yes.
it's so much better, so much bigger.
Yes, because that is my famous quote for me, is actually, I always tell them, our dreams and plans are not the dreams and plans that God has for us.
So true. And it's not that the plans are like so off base or different. They're just so much bigger.
Yes, yes.
You know, Ephesians 3 says you can't dream as big as God.
Right.
I mean, in fact, he says, dream as big as you want. It's still not going to be as big as what I have.
More abundant, right?
More abundant. Oh,
we have not even seen or imagined, right?
No, right on. That is so cool. I love this beginning of this interview, talking about your parents, talking about your family. Now, you mentioned being career mom. Why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Well, as the thing is, so I started in nursing. And that's been my goal, you know. So then I met my husband and everything is, you know. And so then I have now, while I'm in nursing school, I become a wife, I become a mother, and I have a semester left. And now it's like, I can't do that. Let's just put that on hold because I can never. And there we come. That's why I say mom becomes the career, right? It's just that. And so I put myself on hold, you know, and we're just living, right, Pam? And everything's great. And then your kids are now getting older and you're going, well, what about me?
Yes.
Now, what about me? And so even because I'm persistent, and that's been my desire, right? And God gives us the desires of our heart. That's what he said, right?
Yes, yes.
He gives us those desires. So when I go back, and my son is now starting college.
Wow.
And I'm going back. And I go in and everything, you know, I mean, so now it's almost 20 years, you know, since I initially had gone. And I'm thinking I'm gonna have to redo everything, but I'm willing. I'm gonna do it. They tell me all my credits are good. I go right on in. Yeah. I go right on in. And so I'm like, God, this is really my time. You know, this is it. And then no, just to have another setback. But what does Les Brown say? A setback is a setup for a comeback. And here it is. So I mean, and so I guess that really what it was, or was I just envisioning what I had previously, you know, those 20 years ago, or you know, what was actually going on, or it was just the fact that I know my home and my babies that we still consider babies, right? That need us.
Absolutely.
And so you start having those talks, you know, and so was that what it is? Because I'm making A's all the way through the program. I'm doing good. And then you get to the end and you're like, I had a problem with the vaccination, you know, well, you have to get all your immunizations. They couldn't read all that. And I'm talking about the last week. So now I'm passing out. graduation thing, and it's just not it. But God, you said these are the desires. This is my desire, you know. So those are kind of the things that I actually discuss. Is that was kind of hard, you know, of just believing that after you believe, Pam, you
Right.
know, you're believing, and
Yes.
then okay, but everything is not going to be our way, right? And so
Right.
that's when it comes with trusting. And so I had to have a lot of faith and patience and just moving forward. And here I am. Here I am now on the family show discussing.
I love it. That is so cool. This is just awesome. You know how I always say, marry the purpose, but date the plan, because
Yes,
the plan is going to change,
yes,
but the
yes.
purpose stays the same,
Right,
right?
right.
And so now you are, I love the words career mom. I've used the term domestic engineer.
Yeah,
Put that up on a plaque, you know, where's my
right, right.
right? Domestic engineer, career mom, and now the rest of the story.
Yes. And so then we go on, and it's like, okay, so we have that positive trajectory, though. You know, we have to keep going. We
Yes.
have to keep going and know that things happen for us and not to us, right?
Yeah.
And so we're just moving along. And again, I mean, because everything was great. I mean, I was the one who chose, you know, okay, let me just continue because I had invested so much time. You know what? Let me go back and really see. And so my babies, you know, they question more than our interception of our own self, right?
Right. Yeah.
And so they're like, Mom, but you're a germaphobe. Why are you going to nurse? And you know, so many things, but that's the route that I thought that we were going to take. But I've been in healthcare for so long, you know what I'm saying? So I just went to pharmacy, and we've done all that. And then now I come up and make more than what I would as a nurse.
Right.
I'm doing so much more. And this is how God is using me now, just to speak to everyone and just to share my story that you never give up.
That's
And
right.
even though you may have to take a different route, just keep trusting. Just keep
Keep
trusting.
trusting. So now you're in the mental health arena, right? Is that what you said? So
Yes.
tell us a little bit about that. How did you get into how did that evolve?
I got is it okay to do that on camera?
It is. It is. Because what you're saying is, yep, right?
That's it. But God.
Yes.
Because it's not, well, I can't say that because even when I was in nursing, and this is something, Pam, even when I was in nursing, I said I could do mental health or I could do rehab.
Hmm.
So look at here, he just took me around the block to get
Oh,
to get to where I am. Yeah.
yeah.
And so it's like, but Denzel, that was him. He was saying, ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship.
Wow. Say that again. That's powerful.
He said, ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. And I was like, wow, that is true. Because this journey I went all the way around would not have been the path that I had chosen.
Yeah.
But here we go. And it's that gratitude though. I mean, it's been great life. It's just of course, you know, everybody had their ups and downs. I'm not saying that, but it's a great life. It's not the way that I had pictured it or the way it had went, but my babies were just so much to me. And I just think that family, and you hear how I speak of my family, we're just all so you know, so surrounded, and we're really bonded. So that's pretty much how I felt until I feel like I just pretty much put myself on the back.
It almost sounds like that, you were starting on your way in the whole medical community, but then you get married, you have children, and it's like, okay, this is my primary ministry, or this is my primary focus. And so you were busy being that domestic engineer, raising your children, being that career mom, right? And loving every moment of it, I can tell. And it's almost like you made this this camp around you and your family, and that you guys are so close because of how you led the family. And in the Jewish community, they will say that in order for the yeshivas, which is like Bible school, to be filled, so there would be more students coming in, it is the mother's job to build the home.
Yes.
So as mom goes, so go the kids, right? If mom follows the Lord, the kids will follow the Lord. If mom demonstrates this closeness in the family, not that you can't do that and still work outside the home, because so she creates this closeness in the home that the children then want that and nurture it, and then they begin to create it as they go out into their life. So it was as though God just kind of took you here, and God gave you a little taste, bring you here, and you become the CEO of your family, right? Your family life. And you were so happy there until God comes and knocks on your, your door of your heart and says, it's time for more. Am I right? Is that kind of what has happened with you?
Were you there? That's exactly, because it's like he came and disturbed me. I think I was fine. He said, he said,
tell us about that. He came and disturbed you. Talk to us about what that's like. Because here you are being, career mom, living the life. And then all of a sudden, he disturbs you. You get the wake up call, knock, knock, there's more for you. What was that like?
It's so funny because, like I said, my son is now going to college, and I've been home with the kids, pretty much I had taken off to my baby girl, I really never worked full time, and I did pharmacy like back in throughout for 25 years, it just was off. And then I took off to go back to school. I make that huge decision just to go back. And it's like, God put that on my heart, Pam.
Yeah.
He put that on my heart. It's what you said. I was just moseying along. And then all of a sudden I go, Sean, that's my husband. I go, baby, I'm going back to nursing. He say, what? And okay, So I'm going back, and that's pretty much what happened. And then it was like that huge wake up that Bob Proctor talks about, when it hits, it's like, wait a minute, God, you put this on my heart. I really believe that that's really what you intended for me. Everything's flowing, so it actually did catch me by surprise when it ended the way it did, like a week later, before the big graduation, and that's all. But then here we go, then I'm becoming an entrepreneur. Now I'm CEO of my own travel business. So now, and that's actually how I meet Les Brown, because we're having these meetings. They're sending motivational speakers, because I knew Gladys Knight, but I didn't know Mr. Brown. And so just coming to him, and I was like, God, this guy's powerful, and so now I'm just speaking with him, and I tell the story. I'm working remotely because that's what my job entails, but I'm laying on the sofa, and then I'm actually interacting with Les Brown as he's doing a live. And I'm like, yeah, Mr. Brown, that's me, and so I get on there, and he goes, listen, Linda, listen. Oh my God, he's really talking to me.
Whoa, what was that like? What was that like?
I raise up, and I'm like, oh my God, and so, and that began the whole thing. So then I get email about the prodigy. So I'm in prodigy.
Yeah.
Then he invites me to speaking. And now I'm on here face to face with Les. You know, it's like, oh my God. You know, and then I'm talking to Cordell, you know, and I'm like, well, no, I'm going to be on that summit. And it was the last summit. You know, I come in and there's only one left. And he's like, oh, well, that's going to happen. Don't worry about it. And so I'm thinking that they have picked their 20 and that's it. And that it was over. You know, okay, that's not what God planned either. Because I am just so trusting of him, Pam. And that has really taken a strong system, of actually being that way, where I'm just so trusting in God that I trust him. You know, I've been through enough. And what Oprah says, because we have an appointed date in the future with Oprah.
Absolutely, we do. Yes.
She says, what did you learn from this lesson? What was this lesson here to teach? Mm-hmm. And I utilized that tool, of actually going through. So I put it off. I was like, okay. But then I got that email in the restroom in tears. It's like, you're going to be on the summit. Oh my God, because I thought it was over. It's late now.
Yes.
And they invited me, and I was on the summit. And I'm like, he told me that. He told me that and there I was on the summit. And then I was doing, then I was speaking with Kim Coles, and Tamika Scott. And it just led to one thing, after another. And then here we go. And then that was really my my situation with the power voice system. And it's been great. It's been great. And then Pamela comes out with this book. And just maybe an hour, just maybe an hour before I'm going, Linda, you were supposed to be writing that book. This was way back in 2006. I was supposed to be writing that book. An hour before, kid you not, I get the call from Vanessa, the Simmons. And she goes, what do you want to do? An anthology. We're doing it for Les Brown.
Wow. Okay, so an hour before that, you're having a dialogue about a book, and then the book shows up.
And the book shows up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
That's pretty much how my life has been. I haven't really been in control of it.
Wow. And aren't you glad?
Yeah, right.
Things that have happened. Okay, so what was it like to, let's just take a couple steps backwards. So you are in training, and the group that you're with, it has motivational speakers and people are coming in to encourage you. Les Brown is one of them that somehow you are introduced to through that.
Right.
And then you're listening to him, and I'm assuming that you're communicating. Are you communicating on a chat with him?
Yes, I'm in a chat. It was live. He was live. Yes.
So there's lots of people on that, that are watching. Lots of people that are commenting in the chat, right? But Les's eyes fall upon your comments. And then he responds to you by name, right? And it says, get on up in here, or whatever he says, right? And then you go into Prodigy, which is a great program. I've been in that. That's a wonderful program. And from there, you're invited into the Power Voice. Now, you're not just having him communicate with you via chat and saying, hey, Linda. Now it's like, hey, Linda, you're literally sitting at his knee, yes, right? Live in person training in the Zoom room with the legendary Les Brown. We haven't even gotten yet to speaking at the summit. Was your head spinning, girl? Because that went really fast.
It went really fast. It was a fast year. It was a fast year. And I couldn't make this stuff up. I couldn't make it up.
No way.
No way. I couldn't make it up. And yeah, Yeah, it's like you were there. You're summing it up. I'm hoping I'm explaining because it
So,
comes out so I'm speaking it as fast as it happened in my life.
so you show up to Power Voice, Les is there. It's that first night of class. What's going on in your mind?
It was surreal. It's like, oh my God, I'm really here with Les, you know. After it just seemed so short that I met him, I'm listening to him. He's like, go listen to my recordings in the Georgia Dome, you know, and I'm doing this and I'm following. And then for him to be, yes, and us actually sharing the stage like that. Yeah.
That must have been so uplifting and inspiring. But
Yes.
it felt like kind of one of those moments where like pinch, pinch, is this
Yes.
really right?
Definitely.
Is this really happening to me right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your husband's take on all this? He's watching you change like a whirlwind, like woof woof off that. Now she what, where, who, huh?
Yeah. And him, he can see it, but he's like, what is happening?
Right.
And my babies, they're like, Mom, I don't know what it is, but you're consistent and I can see you growing. I can see you. And so those words are really powerful to me, you know, where they can see, because I have to tell you, the funny part is because, you know, I have the mental health, I have the travel,
Right.
and then I have Mr. Brown over here. They're like, how does all of this type? But it correlates. It all is.
Absolutely.
It all ties in some kind of way. I'm just doing it all. I'm like, well, which one is it tonight? Well, no, not that. And you know, is it which one? You know, and yeah, and so I understand because it's kind of just everything, but he's allowing me to do it, you know, because I wouldn't be.
It wouldn't have been the way you had pictured it. It's better.
It's a lot better.
A lot better. So following that unction from within leads you to the right place. And that's what I want everybody to catch here. Like, even back when you chose to be career mom, you were being led to the right place. And as you were satisfied there and happy there, you were in the right place. And as you were gently being nudged,
Yes.
you know, okay, it's time for the next. It's time for the next. You know, you could have been like,
yeah,
right?
But it wouldn't go away. He kept nudging. He kept nudging.
No, that means there are so many lives out there that you're going to transform, because God doesn't just nudge on us and nudge on us just solely. He does want to bless us. He does want to give us the desires of our heart. But, you know, his heart is for people, touching people with his love, people transforming people's life through his power, through the anointing, right? And us getting into that sweet spot with him where that flow from him is so pure.
Yes.
We're not perfect, but it's a pure flow, and we can quickly, you know, the universe loves speed. So does God, man.
Yes.
He wants to get you into that place so that he can move through you and reach the world around you. So now he's reaching the world through you in the mental health arena. But now you have had all of this incredible training through the Power Voice, Les Brown and John Tallarico, our coach. All of this stuff now, I can imagine. How has that impacted you with your clients or patients in the mental health community, going through Power Voice with Les Brown, going through the coaching with John Tallarico at the Million and You, thinking into results, changing our thinking to change our behavior, to change our choices, to change the result? How has that affected you as working in mental health, but with your clients?
They're drawn to me.
Wow.
We actually had a contest, and you know who won?
You won.
of just bringing in the most clients, you know? And so my consumers, they're like, oh, Linda, I love you, you know, and so it's like they're just drawn in. And it's what again, what John and Bob are teaching us, that you can do that. And we collaborated together, you know, for a certain goal. And that's what and just taking the limitations off of just being able to go for it and just master and achieve our goals, you know. And it's, you know, we, even though we want more at that time, this is great because it's taking us those baby steps of where God is trying to get us to go, you know. And I know John is pushing like, look, that has nothing to do with your seagull. But I have to realize that even as I'm continuing to pursue my goals right now, that is a goal and an achievement for me of just taking off those, that all of that noise inside, as John tells us, to quiet that noise, right? And so that is a big step for me, and just moving forward with all those great abundance that he has for us, and just like we said, that upward trajectory.
I love that upward trajectory. I love that. I wrote down what you said here. You said, take all the limitations off. Do you feel like there was a time, as you stepped back into a different career other than mom, when you stepped in, where was the time that you said, no limits? Not even the sky's the limit. Bob Proctor would always say, don't say the sky's the limit, because then you're limiting yourself.
Yeah.
There is no limit, because
Right.
the sky is really endless, right?
Right.
So where was it for you that you really connected in taking the limits off?
It has to be with John. And, you know, and just that, joining that group and just knowing it's no limits, and you can, why not me, right? Why not? And just going on. And that's even funny, because even through this, even though my husband's not in it, he even says that, why not me? And so I know that is what's flowing, because he would have never believed that. He would have never believed, Linda, what is wrong with you? You know, but no. Yeah. And so is we have to be able and be acceptable and know that we have the greatness, right?
Yes.
And that we are able to do above and exceedingly, just as he has said.
Absolutely. And I'm seeing you as working in the mental health arena, and clients, you said, are drawn to you. They have to be drawn to the positivity and the joy that just is bubbling out of you, that has to draw them to you, that there's more, that there's more for them, that it's not just about a diagnosis and some, prognosis, just another tool in the toolbox. This is how you cope. Like, they must be drawn to you because you can show them how to think into results, how they can change the trajectory. There's that word for their life.
Right.
And do you find that to be true? Do they come to you, and are they transformed?
The consumers where I have is I'm with the medication part of it, as well as my office is in there. So I actually blend them, to the pharmacy, to the doctor's office. And so just having, to me, and they're like, Linda, we missed you. We want to stay because of this,
Wow.
And so that is pretty much how I do it. But I'm that liaison for them, just to have that voice where they could talk to. I had one today. She was just overwhelming, like, oh my gosh. And then sometimes I just think maybe I need to tone it down, but I can't, Pamela.
No, don't tone it down. Don't you dare. Don't you dare tone it down, honey. Absolutely not.
Well, Pamela's thinking, what is this lady?
No, Pamela's not thinking that at all. I'm thinking, you go, girl. I'm thinking about the lives that you're touching. Here you are in mental health, and you're touching all these lives with these powerful truths that there is no limitations. and that you can change the way you think and change the way your life is.
Right.
And that all the empowerment that you received through Power Voice and sitting at the knee of the legendary Les Brown.
Yes.
And then eventually sharing the cyber stage with him, which we haven't even touched on yet. So let's go there. So you find out that you're going to be speaking. You already had a little unction that this would happen. You find out you're speaking. You show up for the last summit. And I remember that last summit. I was watching, cheering everybody on. It was fantastic.
It was.
Oh, what was that like to share the stage with the legendary Les Brown and know that he was watching you? He didn't just come on and introduce you and then like turn off his mute, turn the volume speakers off and walk away and say, "Hey, John, call me 4 hours from now when it's over." No, he's sitting there watching and going, "That's my girl. That's my boy. No, those are mine."
Yes.
How does that feel in that moment when you are waiting backstage and you're next? Tell us about that.
That was a horrible feeling.
It's the truth. It is. It's unnerving. It's exciting, but it's unnerving.
It's so exciting. You can't explain the excitement. You cannot put that into words. Just such a blessing to be with Les. Oh my God, he's just so powerful. And you talk about something that comes easy. It just seems like it's just so easy for him. And he's been still so much in us. It's like Les. It's like, so I have to call him Uncle Les. It's like, oh my God, And but it was surreal, just having that moment where we're able just to, and the fact, Pamela, that I thought it was over,
Right.
And he didn't leave me out.
No.
And I think that's what it was, and so it was weird because I had already written it out, like I was going to do it. It was already written, and I just had to present it. I had written it out like I knew I was going to be on there, so
the results. Keep going.
And so at that point, I just had to do it, and that was it. And the fact that it was written all the way out, all the way through, that was something, and it's so weird because it feels like everything has been like that in my life, except for nursing. And that's what hit me in the heart. That was that one thing, but that was the lesson that I needed, that obviously I had to learn all of this from, right?
Right. And so now, post being on the summit, you end up hearing about the Women of the Power Voice anthology. I'm so grateful to have had that download from heaven, and that Yashika was ready to run with me. We could be visionaries together and bring this out for all of us. Yes, to honor our legendary Les Brown and even John Tallarico, but to highlight what God is doing in all of our lives and how we have had maybe lemons dealt, made lemonade out of it, how our lives have been transformed now that we have been given a platform. What made you say yes to signing up for the Women of the Power Voice anthology?
I had to do it. Like I told you, it was like an hour. I was already speaking. Linda, you have stuff to do, stop putting stuff off. And then I got that call from Vanessa. It was just, and those are the things that I don't know, I can't explain.
I hear you.
Those are the things that just go, wow, my aha moments, right? And that was one. And then, but Pam, just being in there with and just collaborating with just a strong, powerful group of women who, again, we were aiming for a particular goal, and we achieved it to become best international seller and bestseller, you know. And those were the marks that we were just able to accomplish together. You know, is no judgment zone, as John says, you know, none of that. We just all collaborated together, and it was just really powerful just to see that everyone has a story, but a lot of us just choose not to tell it, or we tell it in a different way. But we were able to actually put this on paper, achieve that, master that goal of getting it out to change lives. And everyone was able to actually tell their and share their story, strong stories of powerful women, and how we just keep going, and how it's actually another part to us, right? Just as women, you know, we get it done. We get it done. And just know and never give up. That's pretty much what the message that we pretty much sent to everyone, right? Yeah. It's that just keep pressing. It may not go the way you were thinking it is. And everyone starts out a different way. Everyone's story is different. But we're all for that main purpose of just keep going. Just in it to win it, right?
In it to win it. Never give up. Those are some powerful statements there. And, you know, I'm thinking about you and how, you know, you're at home raising your children, and then however many years later, there's that little knock on your heart, and you're going back to nursing school, and then, hello, speed up. Here you are speaking on cyber stages with Les Brown, and now putting a book, being an author, to a collaboration that makes you an international bestseller. Like, that's like enough to make my head spin around. You know? Like, you were just at that whole mom, so happy and satisfied, and you hear, go back to school.
And who said that? It's like,
what's that? And I didn't hear anything about being on stage with Les Brown. I mean, you go back to school, and then within so you start going back to school. How long is it from starting to go back to school to joining the Power Voice?
I was in there, and like I said, that was 2 years because I had already taken all my credits. So I'm all set. So actually, it was in between the time where I had just was like in awe that I wasn't nursing, and then just picking up where I left off and just keep going, you know. And so that was probably, it maybe been a year, maybe a year, a little less. CEO, entrepreneur, can't stop me.
So a year from at home to nursing, going back and doing whatever you needed to finish up there.
Right.
To,
and then into this. So it came to travel business, bam, Les Brown. Yeah.
It's so amazing what happens when somebody simply will surrender and say yes. And you keep coming back to trust. Back to trust.
And they're like, she keeps coming back. She keeps coming back.
Coming back. Who is this? To trust. I love hearing you say that. But because you trusted, it was like, okay, here we go. We're going to go up a little higher. Do you still trust me? Yes, sir. I do. Do you still trust me? You want me to go do what? Do you trust me? Yes. And just climbing and climbing. Now you are not just working in the travel industry. You're not just working in the mental health industry. You're a motivational speaker, trained by the legendary Les Brown, shared the stage with him. And on top of that, an international best-selling author in less than a year. You can't make this stuff up.
Just can't. And we just keep going. It's not the end either, Pam. We stay tuned. We still got Oprah to see.
We still got so much more to see. So what would you say right now to the career mom that's sitting at home going, I kind of feel like maybe I should, but I don't know. I mean, I'm really happy. What are you going to tell her?
Answer the call. In Pamela's words, answer the call. Don't, because it won't go away, Pam.
No.
It won't go away. I was fine.
Right.
You have to answer the call.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so powerful when you say that, because that's really what it is. I wouldn't have went back. I just knew I needed more, wanted more. And again, I probably would have just been fine. We, like I say, we drive Lexus, so we got the homes, Well, Linda said, and a lot of people question it. What are you doing? Sean's got you, we want more, and you just really have to answer the call. Wow. And you go on. I mean, I have degrees. I'm good. What's like, why are you just shifting the waters? I don't know, but I'm trusting to him. I'm trusting to him. I want to did all of this, Pam.
No, I hear you. Yeah. It's this realization that it's not about me. Right?
Yeah.
Because I haven't done it either. I hear you.
Yeah. Well, my goal, my why, even when I was entering nursing school, I want to help people. I want to help people. I love people. I want to make a difference.
I want to help people. I want to make a difference. And God is like, that's the desire I've put on your heart. You're doing a lovely job making a difference in your family.
Don't make me cry.
Making a difference. You do make a big difference. I can just tell by the way you talk about your family. You've made a big difference. You've planted some great seeds there, not just in your family, but families that know your family.
Yeah.
And you've done a great job as a nurse. You've done a great job in the mental health. You've done a great job in the travel world, blessing people, putting together great vacations or trips for them at the last second. But God says, now it's time to take you to a national and international level. Why? Because your why is to help people.
Yeah.
That is so powerful.
That's why I started out.
The time that we have remaining, give us a sneak peek into your chapter in the book.
We pretty much discussed it. It's the main thing is just the title of my chapter. You want to give the title?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's failures do not define you, but they refine you.
I love that. Say it again.
Failures do not define you, but they refine you. And you cannot let the opinions of others become your reality. You have to keep going and know that you have to answer the call.
Answer the call already.
And because inside of my book, it's like I said, it's not if we fail, it's when we fail, right? You have to just be able to get up. You have to get up and keep going. You have to keep going. And so my desire is just, when I'm coaching, is to college kids, just to let them know that you have to take a different route sometimes. Sometimes you can hit it right on, and what happens? You get into that field and you're going, this is not for me. So either way it goes, you have to know that whichever path you have to take, you can always begin again. You see so many kids and we're so pressured, in our society, just pressured to, oh, you got to do this, you got to do it this way. So no, sometimes it doesn't go that way. And I'm living proof that if it doesn't go that way, you just got to keep going. You just have to keep going and know that it'll work out, and be patient, be trusting, and keep the faith. You have to keep the faith and just know that it will work out in God's timing. God's timing. And we're always in the right place at the right time.
Yes.
I believe that. I believe it.
It's so true. Oh my gosh. And you said begin again, and I'm thinking, isn't that what God has done with her?
Yeah.
Begin again, go to school. Begin again, start the travel agency. Begin again, go into mental health. Begin again, power voice. Begin again, get up on the stage. Begin again, write the book. Begin again, start coaching. Begin again and again and again.
You said it, Pam. You said
You
it.
are supposed to add value and help people. And that's what you're doing.
They say we teach what we need to learn ourselves.
Yeah. Wow. I think you can have a book and you have to write, and the title needs to be Begin Again.
Begin again.
I love it. That's so powerful. Linda, how do the viewers and the listeners track you down? How do they find you?
I am on the website. I have my website set up. You can schedule appointments. It's all, and that'll be listed.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you can find me on Facebook. I'm just Linda Ellison, not just Linda Ellison, but Linda Ellison.
Yeah. Yes. And all of her information is in the description, website,
Right.
and Facebook or social media.
Yes,
Is there
ma'am.
anything else you would like to share with us before we close up our interview time today?
It has been great, Pamela. I appreciate you so much just for having me and just giving me this platform to share. And I spoke it. I pray over all of that because I speak fast and I get it.
You were awesome. It was amazing. You were just dropping such diamonds, such gems on us. And, you know, my takeaway here is when God tells you to move, you do it.
You got to move.
You just got to do it. Answer the call, right?
Answer the call.
Answer the call.
Answer the call. And get moving because he's going to keep nudging you. I don't want to go back to school, God. My baby's going back to school. My baby's graduating college.
Right.
That's on his own rental property. And they're doing great, you know. And so I just do what he tells me to do. Just go. Just go.
No truer words have ever been spoken. Just do what he tells you to do. You know, that's what the Mother Mary said when they at the wedding of and they're all like, where's all the wine? And Jesus is saying, go get these bottles and fill them up or whatever. And people are like, what? And what does his mom say? Whatever he tells you to do,
you do it.
You do it.
Yeah.
And that is exactly how you've lived your life. And I just want to lift that up and say, this is a takeaway for all of us here, because we might be comfortable in what we're doing, or maybe you're in something that's just awful.
Right.
What is it that you're being told to do?
Yes.
And then you just need to do it. You need to step out and do it. Maybe you're in a bad relationship and you hear that still small voice saying, get out.
Get out.
Then
just
get out.
It.
Just do it. Answer that call. Come on. Answer that call. Whatever it is. Maybe it's writing that book. Maybe you're thinking, why am I being called to begin working in the travel industry? You never know. It might be because you're a motivational speaker.
I'm sure that could only happen to me. Now, if somebody comes and tell me that story, it's like, oh my God, you too.
Well, it did get you in front of a lot of people, and it got you to think about more of the world than just what was right around you. Yeah. It got you to look at a bigger picture. But again, you can't figure all that stuff out. Why did God make the stops that he made in Linda's life? Because there was a reason. Some of them she knows, some of them she won't know, and maybe until she gets to see him face to face. But the fact remains is answer the call.
Answer the call.
Just do it, because as you can see by Linda's testimony here today, whenever you're watching this or listening, that it has made a great impact on her and her family, and she is out transforming, lives everywhere she goes. Just like she said many years ago, I just want to help people.
Yeah. So
whatever that is inside of you, right?
Yes.
Whatever that is, Linda can testify to that too. Just yield to it. Yield to him. Oh, thank you, Linda, for being here. This has been amazing. I just feel like I just walked outside and caught a fresh breeze. It's so uplifting, and you're so thing. Keep doing what you're doing. And thank you so much for being on right now. Appreciate
Thank you so much for having me. God bless you, Pam. I love you. Thank you so much.
You too. Thank you. And thank you to, my lights just fell down. Sorry, Nicole, you'll have to edit that part out. I'll close us now. Thank you, everybody.
Bye. Bye, Pam.
Bye. For tomorrow, whenever it is that you're watching this or listening, thank you. Remember, you are here on purpose, with a purpose, by design, not by default. So go on out there and be the salt and the light everywhere you go. See ya. Bye.
Pamela Henkel is the founder of the Purpose Center. Pamela is a mindset mentor, author, speaker, minister, and transformation coach. Her weekly podcast, international radio show, and television show are a lifeline that changes lives and inspires people to discover their individual potential through realizing their purpose by design. Pamela is a natural motivator and has shown many how to find their niche and transform their lives. Although success is an uphill battle, Pamela gives the necessary strategies to flourish, cheering you on every step of the way. Pamela shares from her personal experiences, education, and life as a woman in leadership, utilizing decades of knowledge. Taking the approach of, let's have coffee and chat, she will awaken your dreams and purpose by design. Are you ready for Pamela to help guide you? Email us at purposewpamela.office@gmail.com or go to her website at purposewithpamela.com.